Come to Ben and Kelly. It's group therapy on 99.7 DJX.
Heather says, hey, Ben and Kelly, I'm in a tough spot. I need some help.
Okay.
On Thanksgiving, my father, who I never really knew to have an issue with my husband, had a little too much to drink and told off my hubby.
Yep.
He ranted and raved about how much he's never really liked him.
Oh.
And how he hopes we get divorced before we have kids.
Oh.
Like, ouch. You can imagine it was uncomfortable and, have not really ever been dealt with or talked about since. Now, with Christmas coming up, my husband's telling me he doesn't want to go to my family's home because he doesn't feel welcome.
Right.
I don't blame him. But my mom claims my dad only did that because he was drunk. He was joking. There's no hard feelings. But my husband's certain that's his true feelings. Do I just not bring him to Christmas? Do we both not go? What would you guys do? Thanks so much.
Well, first of all, I would ask, why hasn't the dad said anything to his daughter or his son-in-law if
he's really just joking?
If he was just
dad
joking,
needs to be the one to reach out.
Yeah, I was going to say
sure.
that I feel like that's the first thing that needs to happen, and maybe Heather, that's what you suggest is like, well, first thing, I'd like to have a conversation with this about.
I need to hear it from Dad.
Yeah, from Dad if he was whatever and feeling that way, and if there is some truth to it, we just get it out on the table and figure that all out.
Why do you feel that way?
Yeah,
we need to fix this. Otherwise, it's going to be kind of a rift in the family that's going to just grow deeper and get worse.
I was going to say that could be the start of something, and especially if it seems like it's out of nowhere. I don't know. Say if it's out of nowhere, especially to joke about something like that, is just a
bad joke.
That is a bad joke.
Yeah, and Dad 100% needs to be the one to apologize profusely, because not only did he say that to him, he said it in front of the entire family.
Right.
It made everybody uncomfortable. I mean, that's a scene.
Yeah, that is very awkward. So I think first things first is you got to get Dad involved, and he's got to be a part of the solution. That is for sure.
We got to talk it out. We either need to hammer it out. Like if he was truly just a really bad joke, he was trying to be funny, he needs to acknowledge that. Or if there is some truth to what he said and he was really purging some deep down feelings, we need to figure that out too.
All right. Has this happened to you, and how did you deal with it? With a relative or a friend who said some nasty things when they were maybe drunk, and then how did you get through it? All right?
How do you move on from there?
Exactly. 502-795-1997. We'll take your stories on the way next. All right, group therapy. It's kind of a tough one with Heather and a situation with her dad who told off her husband over Thanksgiving. Now, Mom says, it was a joke. He was just a little drunk. Don't have hard feelings. But the bigger problem, the elephant in the room, not only Christmas around the corner, she didn't know how to approach this because her husband now doesn't feel comfortable even going.
I mean, understandably so. And the biggest thing is Dad hasn't been the one to reach out and say, oh, I was just kidding. Sorry about what I said.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the first thing Kelly and I said is, hey, let's get Dad involved in this whole thing. I feel like he is the reason we're all in this situation.
Yeah, Kathleen says if Dad has the issue, then it's Dad who needs to address it. He needs to reach out to both of you and explain his actions, drunk or not. Support your husband, stay home, or go to his family's house. If the situation was reversed, what would you want your husband to do?
That's a good point. Andrew, the love doctor, he calls our show all the time. What's your thought on this?
I'm so super proud of both of you because both of you are exactly 100% correct with what you're thinking. Absolutely. I will add one more thing to this, though.
Okay.
If it's an issue with her dad, guess what? You and your husband don't go to Christmas. Period.
Yeah.
Don't go. At the end of the day, your spouse, the man or the whatever it looks like, is your person, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
They're first and foremost, even before your parents. So you got to go to battle for them no matter what. So if it's an issue, guess what? You don't leave your husband at home. Neither one of you go. Stay home.
You got to have a united front. Yeah.
Absolutely. Draw the line. I mean, this is somebody you're going to spend the rest of your life with, guys. I mean,
Yep.
think about it. Now, draw the line in the sand. Don't go to Christmas.
Those are some tough conversations, but I think, it was started when Dad
started
spouted
it. Yeah.
off.
Exactly.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Dad's got to be the one that says, hey, I'm sorry, or here's my issue, get it out on the table, just like you guys stated. Outside of that, if there's still an issue and he doesn't want to, or Dad don't want to do that, guess what? We're not going to Christmas.
Andrew, the Love Doctor, thank you as always.
Keep on loving, guys.
Yeah, Randy says, look, kind of piggybacking off some other comments, support your husband as you would want him to do for you. Maybe get together for a dinner if the husband agrees, sit down, air things out before the holidays if he wants to wait until after the holidays, and your family just have to understand how hurt he is. Getting drunk, not a reason not to be held accountable.
100%. Yeah, Cheney says, I'm sorry, but it doesn't matter whether he apologizes or not. He already said hurtful things that can't be taken back. You can't unsay what he said, and you can't unhear what you heard. Unfortunately, the damage is done. Things will probably never be the same. It's your husband, and you need to stand by him and continue to hold your dad accountable, and don't let Mom make excuses for him. And why isn't Dad calling you to tell you I didn't mean it?
Yeah.
He did mean it, and Mom's just trying to keep the peace.
Now, there are people, Heather, who've been in your situation. Abby said, I have a mother-in-law that after seeing what kind of bread maker she'd got me one year as a gift, said, I must have liked you then. Can't tell you how many cheap monogram watches I got over the next 13 years I was married to her son. Our kids were treated the same way. The idea of marriage is to become one with your spouse. So, yes, support your husband if you love him, or it will cost you. Man.
Oh, wow.
Kyle said, yeah, my ex insisted on going to family functions I wasn't comfortable at and left me alone on multiple occasions. And that's one of the main reasons she's my ex. So if you ever leave your husband alone on a holiday to be with other people, that absolutely will signal a rift.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh.
Now, Justin was the drunk before. He said, I got really drunk at a pool party, started pointing at all my friends, saying, you're cool, blank you, you're cool.
Well,
surprisingly, the blank you people aren't friends with me anymore.
Yeah.
Actions have consequences. Dad needs to explain himself, or he's out of his daughter and son-in-law's lives.
Oh, man. Yeah, and then, Jesse kind of wraps it up and says, no one tells their truth like little kids and drunk adults.
Oh, boy.
That is true.
Oh, boy.
All right. So, yeah, look, it's not going to be an easy fix, and we're not even saying it can be fixed. But if you want it to go down the road of repair, then it needs to start with, your dad, and kind of getting together and just literally hashing it all out.
He needs to be the one to reach out, and the toughest conversation has to come from Dad. I mean, he's the one that has to own up to his actions. You guys didn't do anything wrong in the scenario, but you guys, are feeling the hurt and, of his actions. So Dad needs to recognize the severity of what he did. And if he's truly wanting to repair the family, then he needs to be the one to reach out. And he needs to have done it like yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah. But know that there is some support, and there are people who've been in your place. And I will say that we did get a text from someone who was like, look, the Andrew the Love Doctor was completely wrong.
Wrong?
Yeah, they need to take the high road, go to family Christmas dinner. Son needs to go up to father-in-law and say, hey, we all have said stupid things in the past, and then they need to move on. By taking the high road, the whole family will be impressed. So that is
a good perspective.
That's a different perspective than what we've been hearing. So
you can try that, and then maybe that might make Dad feel even worse and really make him apologize the way that he should.
Yep. All right. Well, hey, thank you for all the stories and all the comments. And hey, good luck, Heather. I know it's not an easy situation to be in, but
nobody wants to deal with that around the holidays.
Nope.
This should be a fun, happy time. So I feel bad that you're going through some drama, but hopefully it can be resolved and you guys can move past it.
All right. Keep us posted.